Hello everyone, today we're making gorditas de chicharrón in two ways. On one hand we have a stew of pressed pork rinds, and on the other hand a green sauce of pork rinds. And this is going to be finished with some stripes of roast water chilies. So settle your butts and let's see the recipe. First of all, heat up the clay comal. While this is heating up, remove the seeds and veins from guajillo chili. This process has to be done so the preparation doesn't get bitter. We're going to make a tatemado in a clay comal. Just be careful so you're not overcooking or burning the chilies. This is done to enhance the aroma and flavor of the chilies. Now add 2 or 3 pieces of chile de árbol, all completely with the seeds. This minimum amount of chili is going to give a lot of flavor to the sauce. However, this is not going to be a very hot and spicy sauce. If you want this to be very hot, you can add even 6 or 8 pieces of chile de árbol. You have to move this constantly and be especially careful with guajillo chili that is sweeter than chile de árbol. When they're ready, leave the chilies soak in hot water. This way the chilies get hydrated and soft so they can be ground perfectly. Now you heat up a beautiful clay pot, and here you can see the special guest for the first sauce, the pressed pork rinds or chicharrón prensado. This is a very cheap product, but it's not proportional to the amount of flavor it has. This is the result of using lard to cook pork rinds, where the butcher slowly cook pieces and parts of the pork. Then they strain everything and put it in a round container to extract a lot of fat. If you know how to use it, it can be a lethal weapon. This is basically super compressed pork flavor, and when you cook it in a sauce, you can achieve a great texture. Cut everything into large pieces because they will crumble during the cooking process anyway. Start cooking slowly with the remaining fat they have while you prepare the other ingredients for the sauce. Chop half an onion and 5 cloves of garlic. Grind everything on a blender. Put all the chilies with the water. Never waste the water because there's a lot of flavor in there. Put the onion and the garlic and 6 tomatoes cut in half. A little more water to make the grinding easier, a little bit of salt, and start grinding. This has to be as fine as possible as you're not going to strain it. Now put everything on the pot, add more water if you need, and rectify the salt. Let everything cook for an hour or maybe more. The cooking process should be long, so there is a good exchange of flavors to break down the meat very well, to neutralize the acidic flavor of tomatoes, and to reach the perfect consistency. Now you can see this beautiful green clay pot for the second sauce. Put it on extremely high heat and add 10 mil tomates. Add 4 jalapeños and 2 chiles serranos. And start making a tatemado. And halfway through the cooking, add some oil to fry everything. Also add half an onion and 3 cloves of garlic. Jalapeño will give body and flavor to the sauce, and chile serrano spiciness and powerful flavor. Mil tomate has way more acidity than tomatoes, but if you cook it very well and strain it after grinding, the acidity gets lost. Personally, I'm fascinated with sauces based on green tomatoes. If you know how to use them, you can get amazing products. You should add a little salt at this point and not at the beginning to avoid releasing so much water. As you can see, this sauce has only fresh ingredients. However, this is still kind of complex. Talking about the layers of flavors, I believe mil tomates and fresh green chilies were born to be together. And when everything looks this beautiful and juicy, you'll know it's time to go to the blender. So put everything in there with all the water that has been released, with a little extra water to make the grinding easier and to make the cooking time longer. Grind the sauce as finely as possible. Let's check the chicharrón prensado. As you can see, this is already super tender, but the sauce needs more reduction. When the green sauce is ready, take it to the clay pot again, but pass it through a strainer. This way the sauce will be very smooth. You will kind of neutralize the acidity and natural bitterness of green tomatoes by removing the seeds and the skin. Reducing the seeds of the chilies, you are reducing the spiciness. However, this sauce will be a little hot. Notice there's a lot of waste in here, but I promise this is for your own good. After all, these are the less digestible parts. This looks very watery right now, but it will be reduced at the perfect point. And the principal ingredient for this sauce is the chicharrón. Here in Mexico, chicharrón is pork skin cooked in pork fat. The resulting product is this super extremely crispy and airy crust. This is a widely used ingredient in popular Mexican cuisine, and you can consider chicharrón as a perfect snack. This is a very rich and complementary element for many dishes. People just love chicharrón all over the country. Break it into pieces, size doesn't matter in this case. After the cooking process, this will be very soft. Crispness will be lost, but in exchange of other qualities. This is like a sponge absorbing all all the sauce. You will have to cook this for a long time to neutralize the acidic flavor of mil tomate and for the perfect exchange of flavors. Reduce the sauce till you get the perfect thickness to fill the gorditas. After 1 hour of cooking, you will get this result. And here you can see the chicharrón prensado sauce after 1 hour and 20 minutes. This is perfect sauce for gorditas, tacos de canastas, y memelas. Once you try the sauce, there's no turning back. Once the two sauces are ready, you can proceed with chiles rajitas. This is chile de agua, that means water chili, and it's endemic from Oaxaca. It's extremely aromatic, very delicious, and very spicy. You have to roast the chilies like this to get a smoky flavor. You will get it done when you see most of the chili skin completely burned. Complete the process with other 3 chilies, and you can drizzle some sunflower oil to intensify the burning and the smoky flavor. If you like to peel the chilies, you can soak them in water for a minute. I never do that because that's the way you lose all the smoky flavor. Believe me, leaving the burnt skin is the best way to eat the chilies. In this case, you have to use all the chili seeds. Cut everything in long stripes. Now cut half a red onion. Mix together both ingredients. Add some salt and pepper. And finally some lemon juice. You're fine with 3 lemons. This is going to enhance the flavor of chile de agua. You're also getting a quick pickle of the onion. And here you have the perfect complement for these gorditas. And you can also add olive oil, but that's optional. The aroma is incredible, and you can even smell it from a long distance. The aroma of these chilies can stimulate the appetite of anyone. Once you have everything ready, it's time to cut a little bit of cilantro and white onion for the final complement of gorditas. Now you can proceed with the last element, that is the corn dough. Add some pork lard to the corn dough, that way you get a rich and soft dough. This is entirely nixtamalized corn dough, the same dough that we use for tortillas. To make gorditas, there's a lot of variation about the dough and the fillings, and that is all over the country. This one here is made of white corn, but you can also see blue or yellow corn based. It can also be made with wheat flour. They usually mix it with hot water or milk and butter. Gorditas can be fried or cooked in a pan or a comal. Sometimes they make the dough with a lot of fat when they are cooked in a pan, and other times with less fat but fried. In this case, it's done with little fat but cooked in a comal, because the filling is already very heavy. We can say gorditas are the sisters of arepas, a traditional food from Colombia and Venezuela. Gorditas are made with nixtamalized corn, and arepas are made with cooked corn. If you feel the dough a little dry, you can add some water like I did, and start forming the gorditas by hand. Just make a little bowl and then flatten by hand. I'm doing it in a clay comal that has been cured with calcium hydroxide. The thickness and size depends on each person. Just make sure it's completely cooked. You also have the option of adding baking powder to the dough if you want more fluffy gorditas. Cook everything at medium heat because they are not thick as tortillas. You'll know they're ready when they have these brown stains. When they're ready, cut along by half. What I love about gorditas is the soft and steamy crumb, and also the outside crust. I recommend you to experiment with portions of the dough. You can play with the amount of water and fat and see what's the best option for your taste. The last thing to do is to fill the gorditas with your favorite sauce. Remember to always take care of the balance between the dough and the filling. Now add the white onion. Raw white onion is a good element for many foods here. Chop cilantro to make it freshy. And the last element, a touch of queso fresco. Fresh cheese is the last fresh element. Now it's time for green chicharrón sauce. This has already absorbed all the sauce. Finishing the gorditas is very pleasant if you think about all the process behind. And here you have the lovely and beautiful gorditas, made with 2 different kinds of sauce. Just the perfect balance between dough and filling. As you can notice, this food is super versatile. You can experiment with filling and the dough. You have to play with the food with no fear. If I had to choose between the 2 sauces, I will pick the red one. Chicharrón prensado has already gained a piece of my heart. And this video is just a guide. You don't have to follow it step by step. It will be cool if you play with other kinds of proteins and chilies. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel Teosinte. Click the bell of notifications. If you have any question, feel free to leave a comment. So thumbs up and share it with your friends. Yo me llamo Carlos Daniel Gamarra. Nos vemos en el próximo video.